All right, we're here in beautiful Albania. This country is interesting. It has some pretty bad stereotypes, but for the most part, it's been good to me. So I want to tell you guys a story about my first ever paycheck. And basically, there's levels to the game, and each time you level up, each time you get your first win, each time you get your first client, each time you hit your first 10K month, there's different realizations and epiphany moments that happen along the way, which kind of just open up your world and make you realize, okay, this is possible. Okay, I can do this. Okay, balls to the walls, let's go. And so here's the story. In the beginning, as I mentioned several times on this channel, you cold call. You cold call, you cold call, you cold call, because you are the investment, you are the long-term play. And so in my first week of cold calling, I closed 2 clients. The first one came 2 months after, and the second one came 5 months after, right? So the importance of follow-ups and cold calling is extremely important. But on the initial cold call, my approach was open and honest and just ruthless in my transparency. And so I call this guy, hey, how's it going, man? My name is Marco, and I'm brand new to this field. I'm willing to work for free. Are you willing to give me a shot? Yada, yada, yada. My pitch was horrible. I didn't know what I was saying. Everything just felt off and just so choppy and weird. And the guy was actually willing to give me a shot. And I said, okay, let's do this. Let's schedule a sales call. Let's schedule an onboarding call. Let's get you situated. And at the time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was taking as much free content online that I can from Michael Mignona. I bought a course for $1,000, and I was just trying to scrap everything and piece by piece together because this was a big deal. And I was like, holy shit, like this could actually work out. So let's get the ball rolling. And we get onboarded, however I did it. We do the sales process. And again, I'm working entirely for free, an irrefusable offer from a professional marketer. And I remember we got onboarded, everything was good. And I remember doing the media buying. And I was up that night for 7 hours. And I know that for a fact because my father, who wakes up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning to go to work, came downstairs and was like, Marco, what the hell are you doing? And I was like, oh my God, what time is it? It was like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like, holy shit, I gotta go to bed. And so, I was up for 7, 8 hours, freaking out, taking a crappy snapshot I found on Go High Level for free, implementing it, trying to connect the Facebook to the Go High Level, trying to figure out the back-end automations. And then the actual media buying itself was awful. And I remember clicking launch and just having a huge sigh of relief. And this sigh of relief was good and bad because I knew it was shit, but I knew it was the best I can do at that time, right? And so, I tell him, yo, ads are live. Let's get this thing. He's like, I'm excited, Marco. Let's do it. 3-4 days have passed by. He removes me entirely from the Meta Business Suite. And I say to myself, I don't get frustrated. And I say to myself, okay. I knew this was coming. I mean, I knew this is part of the game. And so 3-4 days pass, he removes me entirely. I get a text, Marco, thank you so much for what you did. It didn't work out, unfortunately. When you get results and you actually have some proven clients, come back to me and we'll talk then. And I was like, fuck, what the hell just happened? I thought I could do it. And then looking back at everything now, it was horrible. I mean, I launched 2 campaigns. The first was, or actually both of them were drone footages over houses that I took from some website that I paid like a $9.99 a month subscription. I thought it would work. I thought it would be cracked because it looked so cool, but it had no music. It had no AI voiceover. It had nothing. It was just a drone footage over houses with like a shitty headline, a shitty primary text, because I didn't know anything. And in the beginning, I tell you this multiple times, you're going to be an imposter. You're not going to know what to do, how to do it, or the reasons why you're doing certain things, right? But the only way out is through. And I knew that was the case, and so I just said to myself, I have to get this over with. Let's just go through the pain. It's going to suck. I'm going to feel like an idiot. I'm going to ruin this guy's, I'm going to make this guy lose so much money. And the media buying was absolutely horrible. Absolutely horrible. And then, this is what's important. I didn't get paid then, but this is what happens. I logged into Go High Level to deactivate his campaign, to remove him entirely, and I saw leads in the opportunities tab. And my immediate reaction was, holy shit, it works. I just needed to see that it worked for my own mind so that this realization can happen, right? And I said to him, I reached out and I was like, guys, I don't think the Facebook automation works to connect to Go High Level. I see 6-7 leads here. I called them all. It works. Let's get up and rolling. And he's like, Marco, oh my gosh, let's do it. But you have to fix this. I'm like, absolutely, let's do it. And so come to realize it was just example leads in the opportunities tab in Go High Level, which I thought at the time were actual leads. And I said to him then, yes, we can get rolling, but I have to get paid because it works. And he's like, okay, how much do you want? And I was like, well, I charge $1,000 a month, but it is kind of cold out. I know you're kind of slow. Let's do $750. And I was so hesitant in my voice. And he was like, yeah, absolutely. Send the Zelle. Boom. First paycheck, $750. And then 3 to 4 days later, he removed me again because we didn't get results. And so it was a vicious cycle. It was painful. And at the end, he was like, Marco, keep the money. Thank you for what you did. And I said, okay, you're the man. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this growing chance. And the entire event was so interesting looking back, because in the moment I thought I was doing the best. I thought I was doing good. I thought everything was going to be okay. And it was so interesting to see how the sequence of events planned out, came about. And so $750, my first payment and my first realization that this works in the online money making space. And once this happens, I said to myself, balls to the walls, all gas, no brake, let's go. And that right there was my first ever payments. And you watching this, I don't know where you are in your journey, but if you haven't gotten your first payment, just know it's going to be painful the entire journey. Myself included now, my future self who's making 6 figures a month, and everyone else who's on this journey, there's pain, whether you're stagnant, growing, or dying. Choose which pain you want. So that was my story on my first ever payment. And I hope you guys can take something away from this, whether it's knowing you have to fail in order to actually grow, just getting the imposter syndrome out of the way as soon as possible, being truthful to your first clientele, and still to this day, never lie to your clients once, always communicate, be a good person, have pure intentions, and by extension, the universe will reward you, right? So I hope this helps, and that's that. All right, peace.